Get it wrong here, you're going to pay the price.
This place is fast, it's intimidating. It's not about going and beating other guys. You're racing the stopwatch today.
Your eyes don't deceive you. Today we're going to bend time and go for record speeds at Bristol Motor Speedway. Hang on, everyone. The Bristol Speed Trials are next. Welcome, everyone, to the world's fastest half mile. We know how the NASCAR cars get around this place, but what about cars of a different kind? It's time for the 2011 Bristol Speed Trials at the world's fastest half mile. I'm John Roberts alongside of Larry McReynolds, and Larry, we're going to see some speed today.
Yes, we are. We're going to do it on 2 wheels, 4 wheels. We'll do it with a wing. We'll try it with a street legal car.
And the driver of that street legal car is David Ragan. He's with Bob Dillner.
All sorts of race cars here at Bristol during this speed trial. David Ragan, you're behind the wheel of a street car. What's the game plan?
Ford Mustang, go fast. This Mustang, it's a little bit more than a street car. It's got a lot of horsepower, 5.0 supercharger in it. So, nothing crazy. I don't have my 6-point harness, so just a normal seat belt. Go have some fun, make a few laps, and we'll have the record.
All right, David Ragan, keep an eye out for him. He's going for broke in the Mustang.
Bob, thanks. The warm-up laps are continuing here. Larry Mack, we have a bunch of different drivers from different disciplines, but the goal is the same. Go fast around the world's fastest half mile.
Yeah, we've got 6 different drivers, 5 different cars. What they're trying to do is break a record that's been standing for 11 years, set by Sammy Swindell back in June of 2000, over 138 miles per hour back then.
And that is flat out flying around this little racetrack. But right now, we're going to take a look at some of the guys that are going to compete today. One of them being Brian Clauson, who is in a sprint car that is owned by Tony Stewart. If anybody knows how to go fast, it's Stewart. But right now, Bob Dillner is standing by with the only entrant into the speed trials that's going to try this thing on 2 wheels.
In all my years of racing and coming here to the Bristol Motor Speedway, never did I ever think we'd see a 2-wheel machine on this high bank half-mile oval. Scott Russell, a lot of people think you're just plain nuts.
I think it goes with the motorcycle crowd in hand. We are a little bit, but, it's pretty calculating stuff that we do. And today I'll just kind of run around at a pace that I feel comfortable with. I mean, I won't get a second chance if it goes wrong. So keeping it on track and just kind of, having fun with it is what I'm here to do.
You're a 5-time Daytona bike champion. Is this the craziest thing you've ever done?
This is definitely up there on the list, and I've been out of it for a while, so this might be the craziest thing.
I'll tell you what, darn nice guy as well. This is going to be fun to watch.
No question about that, Bob. Crazy is the key word here today as Tony Stewart comes out on the grid, and he's going to be keeping a close eye on his driver, Brian Clauson, who is the first driver out. And Larry Mack, he is fast right away.
Yeah, this is a USAC sprint car, and I think to break that record, you're going to have to run around this racetrack, this half-mile track, wide open. The question is, will your car let you run around there wide open?
And Brian Clauson won the prestigious Turkey Night Grand Prix back in 2009, that USAC race. And the record is going down already in the first lap.
Yeah, this record, as I mentioned, it has stood for 11 years, set back in June of 2000 by Sammy Swindell. Looks like to me he's going to be even quicker on this lap, JR.
And you got to be fast if you're driving for Tony Stewart because he has won a championship in everything he has ever driven. And also, Brian Clauson has the pressure of racing for Tony, but also for himself and trying to smash this record as he's faster, even faster on the second lap.
And Tony loves getting his hands on these things. Word is this morning, he and Juan Pablo Montoya were working on a skid plate or a belly pan for ground effects on that car.
So Tony Stewart likes what he sees so far, but he knows his driver can do a little bit better. This is a 1-hour session, and we are very early in the session so far as Brian Clauson will be making many more runs as they try to work on that car and get a little bit faster.
Great lap. It's definitely going to get faster. It's going to take a lot faster than that to break this record.
Coming up next, these super mods will take their try at breaking the record here at Bristol, but also we'll see a 2-wheeled attempt as well. The speed trials continue. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bristol Speed Trials as we are watching records fall in front of our eyes. And Larry McReynolds, Here is Brad Knopfsinger, who started his racing career at age 16, driving his family's midget car tracks around California, and he's just getting a little warm-up going on.
Yeah, Brad has been a Sprint Cup Series driver. He's also been a crew chief and a spotter in the top NASCAR series. What this is an ISMA super modified car.
Boy, look a lot different than what we're used to seeing here at Bristol, and also a lot faster as he's just getting warmed up right now, but already very fast.
Yeah, you got to believe when you're trying to run around this half-mile track this fast that you at least want to feel it out for a lap or two. As I mentioned earlier, JR, I think to do it, and he shuts it off pretty quick there, you're going to have this car to go around here wide open.
Mike Lichty is coming up next. He is another ISMA super modified driver, but one guy we're keeping an eye on today has been fast so far, and that's Jason Blonde.
Here's one bad to the bone looking race car, sprint car on the high banks of Bristol here. Jason Blonde, yesterday in warm-ups you were the fastest car, a 13.2 second lap. Can you even do better today?
I think we can maybe get a 13.2. We'll see. There's quite a bit of more rubber down too, but yesterday we were already glued to the track, and we don't need no more grip, so we'll see what happens.
Can you actually feel from the cockpit how fast you're going?
Oh, it's just amazing. It just feels like a Daytona or a Indianapolis 500. The car feels like just an Indy car.
This is their Super Bowl today. He's going for the world record.
And Bob, we're already seeing the world record fall on just about every run so far. These guys are fast, Larry, and Mike Lichty now has the record.
We're seeing the sun fall, starting to see shade in turn 2 and turn 3. The cooler it gets, the quicker it's going to be.
Here's Bob Dillner with owner Tony Stewart, who isn't going to give up until this thing's over.
You gotta love open wheel machines, especially of the USAC kind. Brian Clauson, pretty darn quick in that car right there. His team owner is Tony Stewart, and I want to know, what do you think about this speed trial here at Bristol?
I told Brian I think he's crazy for doing this, but he's doing a good job. I mean, this place is fast, it's intimidating, and especially when you're going out and it's not about going and beating other guys. You're racing the stopwatch today, so it's as fast as he can go. So for a non-wing car, I think he's doing a great job. I mean, we're running comparable times to what the wing cars are doing, and this is with a lot less downforce, so he's definitely up on the wheel.
Now, Lichty with the wing super modified there is fastest so far, but I just talked to your boy there, and he said he might be able to go a little bit faster. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why I've been standing way behind the car here, and I don't want to listen to anything he's saying because it had me nervous watching him practice last night. So whatever he can do, but it's like I told him, there's no points and no money awarded today, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it shows the talent that he's got to get in here and come to a track that these cars have never run and do what they're doing. It's pretty impressive.
Are you saying that Brian Clauson has more cojones than Tony Stewart?
Today, yes, absolutely. I got no problem saying that. So you got to remember, I'm older. I've crashed a lot harder, a lot more often, and I know what it feels like. So he runs these cars every week. So I don't think I'm the right guy to do this week for sure.
Tony Stewart, he's got the car owner hat on today.
Bob, here comes our favorite. It's Jason Blonde, an 18-year veteran of sprint car racing. He's driving an Extreme Sprint Series sprint car, Larry.
But I think what Tony Stewart said pretty much makes the statement. It's not about points. It's not about money. It's about saying I'm the fastest man on a half-mile racetrack.
And these guys don't care what the prize is, but they come here to win, as Jason Blonde is letting it all hang out in his wing sprint car, 121.81.
And as you heard Bob Dillner say, this was the fastest guy, the fastest car in practice last night.
Just cool to look at this, Larry, isn't it? Oh, no!
Well, he hit the wall there at the start-finish line and still ran a 13.62.
What kind of damage do you think that did to the car, Larry?
He actually hit it with that right rear awfully hard. There's a lot of things that are lightweight back there. I've got to believe he bent something.
Oh, that is disappointing for Jason Blonde as we take another look at what happens. Gets a little loose into the outside wall. Let's go down to Bob Dillner, who is standing by with Jason Blonde to see what the effects are going to be on his attempt at setting a new world record.
Taking a look at the right rear of the sprint car of Jason Blonde, you can see the chassis right here, the Panhard bar mount. This bar right here that holds that mount bent in from where he hit the wall. So, Jason Blonde, I know you got to be disappointed with that. Does that ruin your day here?
Pretty much. We just talked to Jerry Kelly here. He works on the number 2 car. He said we can get a TIG welder and maybe fix it. We only got an hour. I don't know if we can get her done, but got to thank Gertie Engines, Biobase, Steel Performance, American Race Tires. I hate it for all the guys because I think we'd have been down in 13.2s.
Was it jitters?
It might have been a little too exciting, or too excitement for me.
Very exciting down here on pit road watching these cars on the track.
And not too much excitement right there as those guys will go to work. We have some two-wheeled action coming up very soon now as Mr. Daytona himself, Scott Russell, will attempt a two-wheel record. Welcome back to the Bristol Speed Trials, everyone, where we are trying to set the fastest lap at the world's fastest half mile. We have cars from all different disciplines, but also, Larry Mack, we have a two-wheeled racer today.
Yeah, it was interesting listening to Scott in his interview a while ago. You can hear that he's excited about this run, but there's a little bit of apprehension. He said he's going to run a pace that he feels comfortable with. I would not be comfortable at that pace right there, leaving pit road on two wheels.
Well, we called this whole thing crazy just a moment ago, but you got to say that it might be intelligence for Scott Russell, as the speed in this thing could be absolutely incredible.
I mean, look at his knee. It looks like it's about 6 to 8 inches off that concrete going through the corners.
The fans definitely love seeing a motorcycle out here at Bristol. It looks so unique and so different, but Scott Russell looks like he is maybe not as fast as some of the other cars here, but on two wheels, this definitely will be a record.
Well, he has 5 wins in the Daytona 200. He's used to going around a lot of banking on a 2.5-mile racetrack. He is dragging the knee that time through 3 and 4.
Did we say crazy before? Yes, it is absolutely crazy. So 95.45 miles per hour so far. That is a record for a motorcycle driver.
That's average miles per hour now. You got to remember that. Average on a half-mile racetrack.
And boy, Scott Russell has had a very illustrious career. Once again, as we mentioned before, he is Mr. Daytona because of those 5 victories in the Daytona 200 Superbike event as he continues to make his way around the half mile here at pretty much blistering speed.
JR, in 2005, Scott was inducted into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. 46 years old, Scott Russell is.
And this run should put him up there as well. 97.99 miles per hour, and it looks like he's backing it down. Oh, look, he's showing off a little bit for the fans.
Oh, now we're getting comfortable, aren't we?
The work continues, however, for Jason Blonde.
Anytime you get the Porter Power out, you know it's serious business, and a lot of work going on to Jason Blonde's sprint car machine down here. Basically what they've done is that chassis there that holds the Panhard bar mount, they actually cut that, pushed it out, and are re-welding it right now. So Jason Blonde and his crew trying to get back out on the racetrack right now, but they're trying to get that Panhard bar mount straightened out right there, and that chassis straightened out so he can get back out on the racetrack. A lot of work being done right here, right now.
Larry, you need your friends around to help you, and that's exactly what they have. But now let's take a look at Sprint Cup Series driver David Ragan out of the Roush Fenway camp. He's got a Mustang there, and it is supercharged.
But it is the ultimate pony car. This thing makes about 624 horsepower, and David Ragan's going to see how fast he can go around this half-mile racetrack in his street-legal Ford Mustang.
It usually takes telemetry to see when a guy is braking and when he's accelerating, but because that machine is street-legal, Larry Mack, we can see exactly when he's braking.
I've always said we need brake lights on Sprint Cup Series cars. We can tell you a whole lot more about what's going on out there.
So David Ragan is now approaching a street legal record for the Bristol Motor Speedway, and he has it at 98.49 miles per hour, but you know, he is a competitor. He is not done yet.
But you're right. I mean, you can see the nose of the car go down. Listen, hear the tires squealing through the corners on this Ford Mustang.
And David mentioned a little bit earlier he would prefer to have the 5-point safety harness. He does not behind the wheel of this car, but nonetheless, he is still fast. Let's go back to Bob Dillner.
Scott Russell dismounts from his machine, a new world record for a two-wheel machine here at Bristol on a half-mile course. How was it?
It wasn't too bad, you know, but it's one of those deals where if you get it wrong here, you're going to pay the price. So that's kind of rode what I felt comfortable with, and I've been pretty happy with that.
Were you nervous?
A little bit. Once I got out there, leading into it I wasn't, and once I got out there, I was like, man, you got to make it right.
doing it again, could you even go faster maybe next year here at Bristol?
Possibly, yeah. With more preparation, this kind of just came together fairly at the last minute, so I think we can do better.
And I love the wheelie on the backstretch, by the way.
The records continue to fall here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, whether they be 2 wheels or 4 wheels. And Mike Lichty's getting some advice from his teammate, Johnny Benson. He knows a thing or two about getting around Bristol. We'll be back. The records continue to fall here at the Bristol Speed Trials. That is Mike Lichty going out trying to beat his own record. We are more than halfway through this session, and that means the pressure is on Jason Blonde.
The mad dash right now for Jason Blonde's crew. He's strapping behind the wheel of his machine. Didn't think I was going to see you back out in the racetrack. You guys are serious business here.
I didn't think you'd see me back again either. I got to thank Jerry Kelly with the number 2 NASCAR team and all the crew here, Phil Renew, Nathan Beavard, Rhino, Jamie Campbell. I mean, they're just thrashing, and we might have 5 minutes left, but we're going to try it.
Any nerves going out here for another run?
Yeah, I need to settle down a little bit.
The pressure is on that group right now, Larry Mack, but the guy to beat is this Mike Lichty as he continues to beat his own record.
And I think he's going for it. When he left pit road, I saw 4 brand new sticker Hoosier tires on this car.
So when you compare this to a stock car going around this racetrack, we are going a lot faster, a couple seconds, and maybe 20 to 30 miles per hour faster.
Well, it's about a second and a half, JR. The track record for a Sprint Cup Series car here, the track record, Ryan Newman back in March of 2003, 14.90 over 128 miles an hour.
So right now, as we look at Mike Lichty and his number 74, a new record at 143.98.
Jason Blonde said we're going to get into 13.2s, and we keep getting closer and closer to it.
We only have a couple of minutes left here, and Jason Blonde, that crew, did a great job to get back out on the racetrack, but Mike Lichty is faster still.
There it is, 13.26, over 144 miles an hour, average around a half-mile racetrack.
And that is flat out flying, but the drama is not over. We still have another shot at seeing Jason Blonde break the record.
This is one bad mama jama machine right now, and it is the world record holder here at the Speed Trials right now at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Mike Lichty, how is that? Have you caught your breath?
Trying to. That was bad. We're getting close. I mean, the car is still a little off. I think we got some speed to gain definitely on entry. I think the car is a little too loose still on entry. And then mid-center, it starts to roll up the racetrack a bit, so I got a little too much wheel. But this is nothing like I've ever ran before. That time was right wide open all around the place.
Wide open here in Thunder Valley.
Bob, you can see on the backside of the racetrack, the sun is going down, so the speeds are getting faster. When we come back, we will check out and see if Jason Blonde will have more fun and have an opportunity to set the record. Welcome back, everyone, to the Bristol Speed Trials. There is the trophy. That is the big prize at the end of the day, and also the bragging rights to say that you were the fastest driver on the world's fastest half mile. David Ragan already has a record of his own. He made it around this place in the fastest lap ever in a street car.
Of all the accomplishments for David Ragan throughout his career, a Bandolero National Championship, a nationwide win, now a street legal course record. Where does that stand in your accomplishments?
You know, it's pretty cool. There are probably more people here watching than when I won those Legends Car Championships and stuff. But, you know, to be here on behalf of Ford and, you know, talk about this Mustang that, you know, the Nationwide Series runs now and then that probably will be in the Cup Series in a few years. This is a street legal car out here running a 100 miles an hour average under 20 seconds. So I'm glad we got a seatbelt in there. I'm going to vie for 2 seatbelts next time.
And now the moment we've been waiting for, Larry McReynolds. Here comes Jason Blonde after they fixed their car. Final attempt to beat Mike Lichty's record.
I am amazed. About 45 or 50 minutes ago, this car hits the front stretch wall. They've welded, they've used a porta power, they've grinded, and now he's going to go out there and try to go 13.2 seconds if he wants this track record.
He is definitely hauling the mail as he comes around for his first lap for time. 14.3, 141, and he's just getting it wound up.
Just a little shakedown lap, a half a second faster than a Sprint Cup Series car shaking it down.
And now he is definitely picking up speed in that machine that has just been repaired by his crew. And there it is. He's got the record.
He beats Mike Lichty by 2/100ths of a second.
And he's still got time to make one more run.
running the high line, keeping that thing wound up. But JR, he is not lifting. Identical lap as lap 1, almost 145 miles an hour.
And now Jason Blonde is the fastest man on the world's fastest half mile. Congratulations all around for the crew. A very emotional day as they wanted this record so bad. They fixed that car, got it back out there, and now Jason Blonde has all the bragging rights as the fastest guy at Bristol. Let's go back to Bob Dillner, who is going to show us exactly how this team got it done today for a very emotional record-setting run at Bristol.
Take a look at that weld right there. That weld gave Jason Blonde the world record here because it held the Panhard bar mount, and they had a little bit of help down here. That's Terry Kelly from the number 2 crew. For Brad Keselowski in the garage area, they came down here, brought the welder off the truck, and actually worked with this team to fix it, and now they're part of the world record team.
And Larry Mack, that was a team effort, even including guys that weren't even on his team.
I mean, look at that. Almost 145 miles an hour around a half-mile racetrack. But I'm impressed with Scott Russell, almost 98 miles an hour on 2 wheels.
Let's go back to Bob Dillner, who is standing by with the man who set the record.
What an hour for Jason Blonde and this team, but they are the new Bristol Speed Trial record holder, a 13.245 seconds, and a lot of anxious moments. You definitely kept it right to the end.
Yeah, we did. We got to make it exciting. Actually, after that first hot lap, we hit the wall. I thought we were done. Going to throw it in the trailer. And Jerry Kelly helped us out with the 2-car. Thank you very much, because he saved our day.
I want to know, going out for that last run, pins and needles, so close. How'd you get another 10th out of it?
Basically just kept my foot in it. Threw into the corner before I was lifting a little bit because I didn't quite trust the car after hitting the wall. And basically I just left it on the wood, and it came out okay.
144, almost 145 miles per hour. Can you imagine that?
No, I can't. I can finally breathe.
He can finally breathe. He's the new world record holder here at the half mile of Bristol.
Simply put, this event was cool. What a fun day here as we set a new world record for speed at Bristol.
Well, we interviewed Jason Blonde, but those guys right there, the work they did, that's what will allow Jason Blonde to say the fastest man at a half-mile racetrack.
Got to thank the folks at Bristol Motor Speedway for putting on this event today and giving a thrill to the fans as we saw some serious speed. For Bob Dillner and Larry McReynolds, I'm John Roberts saying thanks for coming along for the ride.